check. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Get it while it's good. Man, listen, man. Get it while it's good. We in the building. We get it while it's good, family. Where you at? Where you at? That's right. Y'all been talking about that I ain't been live. Now I'm live, and you know what I mean, I don't see y'all in the building. Let me get in the building. How y'all feel today, family? How y'all feel today? Well, I'm in the building. What up, Takaya? What up, Takaya? Takaya hit me with a cash app, and I ain't gonna front, man. I went to the all you can eat vegan spot. You know what I mean? I went to the all you can eat vegan spot. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm just anybody know about the all you can eat vegan spot? That'd be dope. Anyway, family. Yeah, family, man. Listen, man. Have y'all been distracted lately? What's the distractions lately? Ephraim Colin, what's the distraction lately? Ephraim Colin, what's the distraction lately? Did y'all get distracted by the greatest argument in the world? Who created hip hop? This Negroes crazy. Did y'all get distracted off the most critical argument in the history of our struggle? Who created hip hop? Anybody fall for that one? the most critical time in history. That's right. The Jamaicans didn't do it. The FBA did it. That's right. I mean, you know the funny thing about that argument, hip hop is an adaptation of other people's stuff. Anybody ever considered that? Look at how these distractions work. Family, are we that bottom of the barrel unintelligent? Are we that bottom of the barrel unintelligent? Do we have people amongst us that is that bottom of the barrel unintelligent? You know what I mean? The craziest thing about who created hip hop is that hip hop is created from something else. You know what I mean? They took somebody else's record. I tell you. See, I'm a different type, grass sheet. Who is Kim Heru? Now I know who Kim Heru is. That's a Moorish World TV citizen. I mean, hey, listen to me though. Think about it, family. For real. We critical thinkers. Let's really think about it, family. The argument is about who created hip hop, and the old rappers came out in New York so excited. I mean, the old rappers, they came out. I seen some of the posts, man. They were so excited. I said, "Cook is a great." You know what I'm saying? But they argue who creates hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh, he said, I need to have, I'm going to have a whole, listen, the merch is coming soon. And then what they do is they don't acknowledge that hip hop is created from another creation. I put some footsteps in there. Hip hop is created. Anybody ever think about that? Who created, what created that which created hip hop? Man, we fall for anything these days, man. And the thing is about it is, people donated to get it made, then paid to go see it, and then argue about it to promote it. Boy. Think about this. Listen, family. You pay for something, right? You pay somebody to make this shirt. Then I make the shirt and then I sell it to you for $25. And then I wear it and argue about it so I can sell more from what I gave you to make in the first place. Are we that gone, man? If we got people amongst us that's crazy, that is that crazy, man, we just think about it. Just think about it on a small scale, family. You pay somebody to produce something, and then they sell it to you. And then you argue that it's the best thing since sliced bread so they can sell some more to other people. And just skinning and grinning, shucking and jiving. Man, I'm telling you, boy, that European oppressor that got in the head of our people, man. You know what I mean? Oh, my goodness, man. Very dynamic move. A very dynamic move, family. What y'all think about Trump, man? Trump going to jail. Y'all think Trump going to the Bing? Y'all think Trump going to the Bing? Huh? Y'all think Trump going to the Bing? Well, I will tell you this. All the people that been caping and capping for Trump amongst the Africans in America, they sure better be careful, because the last time you had somebody caping and capping for Trump, they got caught up in the whirlwind and they end up getting pulled out of their FBI scheme when Trump got unelected. You know what I mean? And that is no other than the Grandmaster Jay, where people think that he's in federal prison. I don't believe that. All the followers and all the supporters, you ain't got one person in prison taking pictures with Grandmaster Jay. Not one. He ain't got no visit. He ain't got nothing. Nah, man, go ahead. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. I mean, y'all think Trump going to jail? Anyway, family, isn't it funny, family? We're going to get into this show. I really appreciate y'all. And what's his issue with Jamaica? Listen, there is no issue, Takaya. There is no issue. These are all distractions. Let me tell you something. There is a thing. Grandmaster Jay. Grandmaster Jay. There is a thing, right? That the FBI put on the bulletin at one time. It was called the Black Identity Extremists. Let me pull it up for you. Black Identity Extremists, right? And they were targeting those who practice certain ways that would, one second, that would I want to say this right. So let me just say it like this. So the FBI began to target groups that would push the idea that black first, Africans first, we need to fight this oppression, and even if it was innocently done, the FBI put out a bulletin for basically to keep an eye on that, to keep it down. You know what I mean? Don't want nobody to raise up. You know what I mean? And I understand they don't want nobody to raise up from in such a way that can be adverse, that can be violence and start chaos. I get all that. But anyway, and a lot of innocent people ultimately gets targeted in those things like that because they paint it with a wide brush. And with this identity extremist campaign from the FBI, it actually birthed things like FBA. You feel what I'm saying? Whenever you see, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Whenever you see, this is it right here. Whenever you see, family, remember when I said last week, I said that if people start talking about the white man, the devil, and things of that nature, let me hold this to the side for a minute. If you see people start doing like that, there's a red flag. Because in this day and time, family, the war is real. I mean, you got the oppressor that have put a system in place where the system is oppressive and is not necessarily individuals all the time. Primarily it's the system. Like the system is set up, and when we say the system, most people don't explain what the system is. Like if the average person in any part of America go to the bank next to his European counterpart, 9 out of 10 times the European will get the loan for the mortgage before, if it's hand in hand. And they've done studies like that. So we're talking about a system. When you look at the school system and what is taught in school, it's primarily a Eurocentric, an American Eurocentric curriculum, if you will. And I'm talking about the history of America. It puts the European as the conqueror, and it puts the African as the conquered. You know what I'm saying? And there is no middle ground. And they say, well, that's history. That's what it is. You put the European as discovering of the new world, and you put us as the tag along. And so that's the systematic racism right there. You know what I mean? Or systematic racism that breeds prejudices. You know what I mean? And little children in school wouldn't even know better from that, because the soul is taking it in. You ride down the street and you see a billboard, and then the billboard reflects blonde hair, blue-eyed beauty, and then in the same few blocks down the road, you see a billboard for drug treatment, and it's a quote-unquote African in America with a needle looking all beat up. And these little images is what is the system of racism. So at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be pushed by individuals. Now the system does it for itself. You know, but with that being said, the black identity extremists thing had gotten steam due to a lot of people running with this fake Moorish stuff on the internet, right to travel, and then the brother in Texas who went to some kind of personal war with the authorities. And so they put out this bulletin here. Let me see if I can slide it on here so you can see it. So, because this lends itself to what we're talking about. You know what I mean? So in this right here, it's talking about black identity extremists. And throughout the history, the Federal Bureau of Investigation have viewed black activism as potential national security threat. It has used its ample investigative power not to suppress violence, but to inhibit the speech and association rights of black activists. And its reaction to the protests following police killing of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, shows the little has changed. So what they did was they just rewrapped and repackaged how to silent activists. You know what I'm saying? How to silent activists. Now, but one of the things that you don't understand, or I hope that you understand, let me not take it for granted that you don't understand. One of the things that you need to understand is that right around this time in 2019, when this was put in place, that's when you start seeing the Moorish stuff taking a really a left turn, where you see on the internet all the time they're getting their cars smashed in. Or you see the Hebrew Israelites is starting to gain some momentum. The Hebrew Israelites is starting to gain momentum. You feel what I'm saying? Now listen. Weave into the objective of national security by the FBI, you do have some innocent people that's actually pushing like the Hebrew Israelites, and they pushing the genuine doctrine in which they espouse. You got genuine Moors pushing the genuine doctrine. But what happened is they would highlight the most radical, the most extreme, the most crazies will always make the news or always make the YouTube algorithms. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that's really teaching something that's beneficial, you don't get no like. You don't get no like. You feel what I'm saying? You don't get no like. You don't get none of that. Now, with that being said, the next thing was to pop up is what J. Edgar Hoover said he would do. He would create something for you. And up jumped the boogie. This is when FBA was created, right around 19 or 20, something like that. This is when FBA was created, but it was not pushed. I mean, until the 2020 election. That's when it's really began to get some type of attention. At the 2020, what's 2024? At the 2020 election, the year before the 2020 election, the FBA came out. But now remember, this is when you get ADOS. This is when you get the FBA. You got the extremist Moors. You got the Hebrews. They march. They show the videos with the Hebrew brothers with the It looked threatening, you know what I'm saying? But it's not. They got the Hebrew brothers that got the purple and the yellow on. You know what I'm talking about? The something of Christ Hebrew brothers. Press 7 if you know what I'm talking about. But these are all the identities that is now being mixed in a gumbo. And now the FBA jumps in the mix, and the FBA is on the forefront. Now, not for real, but illusioned people. You know what I mean? The illusion people believe that FBA is actually some type of formidable organized people. You know what I'm saying? When in fact it's not. It's nothing more than a distraction. That's all it is. It's nothing more than a distraction. But right around that period of the identity extremists put out there by the FBI, you would find the FBA pulling up the rear. First, you would see people would go into ADOS and learn the language, learn the vernacular, learn the customs of this argument. And the next thing you know, here come FBA. The individual will go and join ADOS, support ADOS just long enough so he can learn the language. And so he can then, once he learned the language, he can mutate it into FBA. And now FBA becomes the second distraction, not second, another distraction amongst many. There you go. Because now they did that with the Moorish Science Temple of America too. They allowed people in the 80s, in the 90s, if you will, in the streets of New York, they would put out teachings of the Moorish Science Temple of America that had nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America. It was only connected to the sovereign citizen, European sovereign citizen movements. And how do we get access in the heart of the city, in the heart of New Jersey, to European sovereign citizen movements? We don't pay attention to stuff like that. So you have to understand that people are working for the people, and they are given the handoff with certain information and the information to push. Family, how can you remix a Moorish doctrine and you in the inner city? You trying to just go to work, you learning a little knowledge like the 5%ers, and and all of a sudden you got this European-based concept of sovereignty, and you spitting it. To me, and this is just my opinion, to me, this is the handoff. Somebody handed that off, and they kind of cloaked it in Moorish, and they begin to sell it to the public. You know what I mean? And until this day, you got people that still they will ride or die with that lie. And so with FBA, there is no different. With FBA, there is no different. You have people that really feel in their heart that FBA is a solution to all that we face. They believe that, even though there is no doctrine, there is no game plan, there is no structure, and there is no leader. There is no leader. Although you have people, you have one person that controls anything that happens as it relates to a celebration, a rally, the flag, anything that is created for FBA is created by one person. Nevertheless, the FBA doesn't have no leader. You know what I mean? It's a leaderless movement. It's a leaderless movement. Now, so how is it that FBA can be, an advocate for reparations when there is no structure, there is no leader, and there is no plan? That doesn't make sense. And for people to fall for that, and then people would repeat the same talking points and say, well, FBA, it's not an organization. It's a lineage. Okay. I get that. I get that. FBA is a lineage. Okay, no problem. So why scream FBA if FBA is a lineage? When you had the Black Power activists screaming Black Power, they was actually part of organizations to further. I mean, they was actually organizations to further the concepts of political power. They was part of organization to feed people. They was part of organizations to clothe people. They was a part of organizations. So when they screamed Black Power, they was actually part of a construct to bring Black Power into existence. You follow what I'm saying? But when you see somebody screaming FBA, they're not a part of any organization, construct. Born eternal Lord of law, peace and love, family. You know what I mean? There wasn't a like for instance, you take born eternal Lord of law, God body. You know, they're on the streets of New York. God body on the streets of New York. They saying Islam mean I self Lord Master. The Moors come down there and mix it up on them, and then they change it I self law and master. They change Lord to law because the sovereign city, they hijack these things. These crazy Moors, they would hijack these things. And so you have the 5% of here, like who sent these people? Who sent these people? I mean, the 5% got all the acronyms. You know what I'm saying? I self, Lord, Master, arm, leg, arm, head. You know what I mean? The Moors come, the ones that they were sent, the infiltrated ones, they come and remix that, flip it, and sell it back to people. And that's what I'm telling you. They learn the language. They learn the language. When they send people, they actually learn the language. And as the FBI informant that with the brother, the one that infiltrated the Black Panthers, ultimately ended everything in California. He said that the government know more about your culture than you do. He said that when they were training him, he said they told him more about the historical account of Africans in America, about slavery, and even everything about people who was instrumental in the Black Power movement, the Civil Rights movement, and they had great detail. They knew every book. They knew all of this stuff. And so what I'm telling you is that this FBA thing is no different. It's no different. When you have a leaderless movement for reparations, you can almost guarantee you ain't getting no reparations. And now that brings me to the California demonstration. If you have one who is promoting FBA and they are in California and they're not with the most prevalent campaign or the most prevalent group of people fighting for reparations, that should be a red flag off the top. I don't care how much you like somebody. If you know that they got the most powerful, noticed task force in the United States to talk about reparations, and you are a resident of California and you have not worked with any one of them, whether it's real or fake, whether it's illusion, whether it's smoke and mirrors, that should say something. That don't say nothing to anybody. That doesn't say nothing to anybody. That doesn't say nothing to anybody. That if I am a proponent of reparations and one of the most prevalent, influential task force is put together, and what I mean, I don't mean that they right. I mean that they are well known around the country. Say if one was here in Baltimore and I'm pushing reparations, then I should be working with them a little bit. I think I should be, because they in the State House. They are in the place where the laws will be or could be made for this to come to fruition. that is not a red flag? And the only thing that you can bring to the stage is YouTube commentators? Listen, ain't nothing wrong with YouTube commentators. I'm one myself. But alongside of a scholar, a researcher, alongside of one that is on the panel would only make sense to me. But the only thing you got is YouTube hopefuls. That's all it is. They're YouTube hopefuls. They're YouTube hopefuls. That's it. Without YouTube, they be getting their ego fulfilled doing something else. You know what I mean? For real. These are the people that always need attention. You know what I mean? Like listen, I get attention all the time, and I'm telling you, I don't like it all the time because they be mad at me. You know what I'm talking about? They be mad at me. But these people, these YouTube hopefuls, they love attention until you question them. The moment that you question them, they don't want that attention. But the only thing he brings to the stage is YouTube hopefuls. What qualifies these people? Not one qualified person on the stage. Now that I might say that, he might get one. Not one qualified person on the stage. But family, what I need to do here, man, it can't start until we start the show. Let's go. I gotta go. Family, I'm gonna teach something tonight. California reparations, man. That's that good old current. It is what it is.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line.
Check
till
1
the law
2.
Call my number.
Check 1 2.
I be that more you gon' remember.
Yeah.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Hey fam.
More than you a friend of
Everybody
mine.
share this.
I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me.
Everybody
and I speak
share
about
this.
the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it was straight
Fam, I
back.
wanna show y'all something.
You need to be tripping off that. Now here we go
That you
again,
probably ain't
acting
been
like
paying
you a
attention
slave.
to, but I hope
the
you
same
have.
people talk European how to bathe, and looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no.
Dr. Saw, are you in the building?
Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Yeah.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for them people.
Thank you, family.
Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't
Oh, you getting some
Yeah,
music?
you know I ain't slow. I
Sound
see
like
it
you
all
getting some
before.
music.
How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show.
I
And
just started
somebody
late.
right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming
All
for my
right.
vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, murder out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish World, then get out of my face.
Family, listen.
Italians love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish World, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember.
Let's go.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Y'all ready?
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. Nap Town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
We about to get
I be that more
busy.
you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.
Family, listen. Come
Coming this June 8th. Hold on, follow me. Come on. Coming this June 8th, family, I'm going to be demonstrating unveiling Islam. I'm going to be unveiling Islam and how it relates to, of all things, Pan-Africanism. Now, what I'm telling you is I'm going to be unveiling Islam, meaning that I'm going to demonstrate items of Islam. Coming this June 8th. Hold on, follow me. Come on. Coming this June 8th, family, I'm going to be demonstrating unveiling Islam. I'm going to be unveiling Islam and how it relates to, of all things, Pan-Africanism. Now, what I'm telling you is I'm going to be unveiling Islam, meaning that I'm going to demonstrate items of Islam and perceptions of Islam that have been covered up. And I'm going to unveil it. Come with me. We're right here at TNAT. 5525. 5525 around for growth. I'm teaching holistically about Islam, the true essence of it. Not what you see on the internet. Not what the 8th of June. We going in. Unveiling Islam. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to relate the essence of Islam to liberation, Pan-Africanism, as well as to show that the original Islamists, Prophet Muhammad and those who was with him, was African-centered. I'm going to show and prove. On June the 8th, I hope I see you there. I'll be there. You going to be there, Doc?
Yes, sir.
Peace and love. I see you there.
Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I'm your host. If you are in the Baltimore, Virginia, or D.C. area, Philadelphia, even New York, come on and hang out with me, man. I want to give a history lesson that we are not used to. If anybody used to watching Moorish World TV or have listened to me teach on the other channel, Noble Temple Podcast, you know I dig into a part of history that has been that many people fail to dig into. They call themselves scholars, respectfully. I just consider myself thirsty for information and thirsty to try to figure out what has happened in history to bring us to this point. And so I go hardcore. Somebody said I should hold it at the Hidden Museum. That's a good one. But anyway, family, let me get to it. So, family, listen, I really want you to pay attention to this because this is a serious issue. If you are African in America, if you are considered indigenous, if you are copper tone and you desire reparations, I will tell you, family, don't put your eggs all in that basket. What I would tell you is try to get with like-minded people, build a community, get with some trustworthy people, and try to build something that in 100 years from now, it can be an institution or even be a community that metamorphoses into an independent nation, maybe. But if you think that you're going to start with reparations, you probably got another thing coming in. To me, it is nothing but the carrot and the stick trick all over again. That's to me, though, the carrot and the stick trick. It's, I mean, the carrot and the stick trick is something else, family. But with that being said, I want to share this with y'all. What I got here? I think this one is it. Here, let me see. This one is here. So, family, when we talk about reparations, right? Are y'all aware? Let me move some of this out my way. Are y'all aware that this call for reparations is not a new one? Are y'all aware of that? Y'all familiar with that? That it's not a new one. It's not a new thing. In fact, let me grab this real quick. In fact, it's pretty much, it's been around for quite some time. And if you study history, you will find that, this thing for reparations, it always hit the same, it always hit the same talking points. It always never really go nowhere. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why. and I'm going to share my opinions on why. And one thing I don't understand is, why haven't anybody credible? I know they would love to say, let me see this. Not that. This one. They would love to say, oh man, Tahaka Bay just yelling, he loud. They love to come up with excuses. But I'm serious. Why can't we find anybody that is a proponent of reparations to come forth and literally show us the likelihood that it's going to happen in California? In California first, you know what I mean? If we can get it in California first, that'd be a beautiful thing. Why can't we bring anybody? You know, Lord Abba was on a stream that on Facebook when I was talking, and he literally like, I can get on the show when I get some time. I ain't got no time now, and I'm still waiting on that. I really want to hear how plausible, reasonable you think this is. I really do. Listen, I don't want to rain on nobody parade. I want some paper too. You know what I mean? I want some liberation paper too. But listen, family. Listen. We need to stop this, man. We need to live in a real world. That's it. Do anybody know who that guy on the right is? Anybody know? Let me get a sip of water while y'all looking, because we about to go in real quick for the next 30, 45 minutes. Anybody know who that guy is? Mr. Coates. Anybody know who that is? Listen. Before there was the task force, I'm sorry for smacking. Before there was a task force in California, this guy right here was on the front line trying to get this nationally moving. All right? He was trying to get it nationally moving. You know what I mean? That's right. Tanishi Coates. I think I'm saying it right. Listen to what I'm saying. He was on the front line with HR 40, trying to get the ball moving. Dr. Assar is in the building, and he's familiar with him. Have you noticed that you don't hear a bunch of rhetoric when it comes to this guy? Some people don't even know who he is, because a lot of the conversation now has got swallowed up by rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? But what he was doing is he was bringing it to Congress. You follow what I'm saying? He was bringing it to Congress. But what you would find is that the roadblocks was something serious. Family, this is a legal issue. This is a legal issue. Never forget that this is a legal issue. And for reparations to be extended beyond California, then, you know, it got to go to the White House. You know what I mean? It got to go. If California even get close to it, that's California. And people think that California going to set a precedence, but I'm telling you, to me, it's a carrot trick. It's the old carrot trick, right? Right before 2020, it says in the article I was reading, it said, for all the attention the congressional hearing got this week, Congress is the wrong venue if America is really going to move forward with reparations study. It's highly unlikely such a contentious measure would ever make it through the House or the Senate, assuming either would even put it to a vote. Instead, the push is going to have to come from the White House. And that's how I start this show. Family. In this rings true to from California to nationally. In California, the push got to come from the governor, Newsom. And we're going to talk about why. Governor Newsom already said that he'll give you some welfare. He'll give you some handouts. But he ain't giving you no cash, and he give you some more programs. He give you some social services. But why did this analyst say that it got to come from, the push got to come from the White House? The reason why if you understand politics, you understand that these Europeans that have the thought that you wasn't there for slavery, you didn't suffer slavery. Your ancestors did, and guess what? You can't get my vote. And so in order to override that, this article is saying that there would have to be a push from the White House, i.e. executive order. Because many polls have reported, as Black Warrior Spirit says, I'm in California now, and I can assure you that these white folks ain't giving up no reparations, period. Because they are voters. It's a legal issue. They are voters. This is why I said, and people misunderstood me, I said, if you're going to fight for reparations, you would have a better chance fighting in a slave state that was legally pushing slavery. You follow me? But I love articles like this so we can see the other side of the coin. It says at the center of the hearing was H.R. 40, a bill that has been introduced in every Congress for the past 3 decades. See, a lot of people don't read and they don't understand. The bill that has been introduced. Hey, family, do you hear what it say? A bill that has been introduced in every Congress for the last 3 decades. Why didn't we as a group of people, or those who claim that they want reparations, didn't establish their own commission to find out why was it introduced for the last 3 decades and why they haven't gotten no steam? Maybe the hidden message is in that question right there. Why haven't it gotten any steam? And now, listen, for 3 decades, that establishes a commission to study and consider a national apology and a proposal for reparations for slavery, Jim Crow, and their lingering effects. The bill represents one of the most serious efforts to jumpstart the national inquiry into reparations, an idea that emerged with new urgency after Ta-Nehisi, I hope I ain't butcher his name, he a Baltimorean, 16,000 word Atlantic article in 2014 on the issue. Family, where are we now? This was 2014. He was at the forefront at that time. You might don't know him, but he was at the forefront. All these talking points are not new talking points. Family, anybody there with me? Anybody there with me? All of these talking points are not talking points that haven't been heard before. These are all recycled talking points. That's why I say that it is the dangling of the carrot stick. These are not new talking points. The same old talking points that hit the wall yesterday is hitting the wall today. These are not new talking points. There we go. The appropriate cash pay output will have to come from Congress. They have the power to the purse. It cannot be done with the executive order. No, it has to be pushed. The language is pushed. It has to be pushed. Congress is never going to get all the votes, bro. What you talking about? You say it can't be done with an executive order? You can do executive order to send money here, send money there, and the Congress be forced to sign off on it. But I'm not getting to that part. What I'm saying is that from a political standpoint, look at these time periods. Though 80% of white people still oppose reparations, their support has doubled from 6% in 2014 to 13% today since the publication of the essay. Those numbers haven't changed much today. That haven't changed much today. Listen to me. In 2020, show you what I'm getting to. President Trump on Monday said he does not believe the federal government will pursue reparations for descendants of slaves, an idea that gained traction among Democrats. Trump said, I don't see it happening. So why is all these people that say that they for our people, why are they endorsing Trump? See, because they already got their reparations. They already got their reparations. See, hold up. See, this is not, let's get off of the racist conversation about Trump. Let's get to the real. Trump said he ain't giving nobody a dime. So why is these people advocating for one? It's not about the rebuilding of a battered, bruised, and oppressed people. Why? This shows you right here. And, you know what I mean? These people got theirs. You understand what I'm saying? All of these people. If no one is going to advocate for the concept, all of these people, listen to this, all of these people that are FBAs and that are fighting for Trump to win, they also fighting for reparations. And I just told you that it's going to take push from the executive office. You understand what I'm saying? Trump, hey family, are you with me so far? Real Hype DC, what's up, family? Are you with me so far? Family, tell me that you're with me. Please tell me that you understand this logic. They're illogical. But if you saying that you are for Trump, then you can't say you for reparations. It don't make sense. Now, I'm not telling anybody to vote Republican or Democrat. But if moist lips imply to vote for Trump, then he's not for reparations. Anybody say vote for Trump, they're not. Listen, I don't care who you vote for. That's not my argument. And please, don't let nobody misinterpret my argument. My argument is not for the Democrats or Republicans, but for God's sakes, use your common sense. If you voting for Trump, you are not for reparations. It's impossible. Because he said it's not going to happen. Now, whether you believe it's going to happen or not, doesn't make a bit of difference. The point is the logic behind your reasoning saying, oh, I'm supporting Trump. Okay, support Trump. Forget the racism. Let's talk about the policies. Heck, let me tell you something. I could care less about the racism that people attribute to Trump. Let's look at the policies. What policies that Trump is going to put in place for all those that's endorsing him? These are rich people here. These are people who already got their slice of the American pie. So guess what? Because they are in similar tax brackets, this is why they are using their celebrity to push this guy, while the bottom guy is being faked out like everybody is supporting reparations, when in reality, you can't be supporting reparations if you're supporting Trump. And I'm not even talking about the racism and all of the rhetoric. Forget the rhetoric. Trump said you ain't get family. Make it make sense with me. Come on, help me out. Help me out. How can that make sense? How can that make sense? That can't make sense. You cannot be doing reparations rallies and saying Trump is better than the Democrats. It doesn't make sense. But I'm not saying vote for. I'm just saying use your common sense. I'm saying that we need a group of people that's ready to build something for you by you. We need people to build political machines so they can go there with a political muscle and make things happen locally. That's what we need. We don't, the national election that people are pushing for, that they are proselytizing for, listen, it ain't going to benefit you, especially those reparationists. Especially those reparationists. But we don't think too far. We hear somebody start talking about what the Democrats, how the Democrats have played us, how the Democrats have pacified us, how the Democrats have did this and I did that. Well, this is just another degree of pacification. This is just another level. This is just another level. This is just a whole nother level. And now this is an intellectual level. So what it would imply is that this is going to snag those that can speak the king's language of intelligence, but they probably couldn't get themselves out of, get their car out of park and drive down the street, even with a driver's license. Because that's the trick. This is the trick. The trick is this. The trick, it gets deeper. The trick bag gets deeper. You follow me? Listen to this. This is how you know that reparations have to be attacked from another angle. This is how you know. All right? This is how you know. When you look at the Pew Research Center, the quote-unquote black eligible voter population in the United States is projected to reach 34.4 million in 2024, up 7% from 2020. Family, do anybody know the percentage of Africans in America? Anybody know the percentage? Anybody know the percentage? Family, it's been about 13% forever. You hear what I say? Forever. Like you ain't got no birth growth or none of that, according to them. But hey, let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. How do you think your votes next to those who are established politically votes going to stand when it comes to reparations? How do you think? How do you think? What I'm telling you is that you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to do some work. You have to do some work. You can't let people give you your solution. You can't have someone create the problem and also create the solution. You can't. Life don't work like that. If someone creates a problem for you, it's up to you to find a solution. The one that creates the problem is not going to give you the solution. So just because Newsom put together a task force, come on, use your logic. If someone creates a problem for you, why would they create a solution for you? He tells you that you ain't getting nothing, but he creates a task force. I mean, you're going to get some social services programs. He said you'll get some social services programs. Come on, we gotta wake up. Man, we are more intelligent than this, I think. I'm hoping. Are we? Are we? Or aren't we? Are we just still falling for 1980s propaganda? Where Lord Abba at? Where are all these people that write all of this and do all this research at? Where are they at? Let's have a conversation. And if you don't want to come to Moorish World TV, we could do it on a neutral platform. Where are these people that really think that the needle is moving? The needle ain't moving. That's just an illusion. There is other remedies to the problems that we face. This here could possibly lead to a remedy, but not in this venue. Not in this venue. I don't see it. I don't see it happening in this venue. Now, it says in this, quote unquote, right here, it says black Americans are projected to comprise 14% of the eligible voters in 2024. Fam, you know what 14% is, bro? Sis, you know what that is? That's literally pretty much a drop in a bucket. It's literally a drop in a bucket. And you talking about reparations, fam, that's literally a drop in a bucket. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Come on, that's literally a drop in a bucket. People get emotional with these conversations. There's no need to get emotional. There's no need to get emotional. Let's look at the numbers. I told Doc, when I debate somebody, I'm always looking at the numbers. You know what I mean? That's the difference between me and other people. I'm going to look at the research, I'm going to look at the numbers, and then I'm going to look at the practicality of it. Forget the emotions of it. Forget the emotions of it. And the numbers don't match. The numbers don't match. When it comes to the breakdown in percentage of voters by race in the U.S., the margins are decidedly slanted. Unsurprisingly, quote unquote, white voters make up the overmajority of those margins. Hey, family, press 7 if you're still with me. I can't see how many people. How many people in here? Y'all share this. Y'all share this. Share this to your people, fam. This educational. Yeah, this educational. I mean, share this to your people. Let me see how many people in here. I ain't paying attention because I'm painting a picture here. I'm painting a picture. If y'all come to my lecture, y'all gonna see how I paint these pictures. I'm painting a picture. You follow what I'm saying? Listen to my logic. Look at your logic. And then put it all together. And then look at the FBA and all of these people talking crazy. Check their logic and see what makes sense. And see what makes sense. Listen to this. When it comes to the breakdown of percentage of voters by race in the U.S., the margins are decidedly slanted. Unsurprisingly, white voters make up overwhelmingly majority of those margins. The most reliable estimates place the percentage of voters by race for white voters around 60 to 70%. So you know, when you go to local elections for one thing about and Diallo from In the Black Media remind me of this when he made the statement. When you go to vote, you're not only voting for leaders, you're also voting for policies. You're also voting for stuff like this. Should it be researched? You know what I'm saying? You're also voting. Boss Talk Podcast in the building, my guy. But you're also voting for local things to take place, right? Now, if in majority of the states, the population is overwhelmingly European, quote unquote, white. And the polls say that they don't support reparations. What is your plan B? What's the plan B? What's the plan B? Because whether on a local level, like we ain't talking about the national, when we talking about going to Congress, that's the national, but on a local level, what's your plan B? Huh? See, it's just like in Baltimore City. Baltimore City is overwhelmingly Africans in America. Copper tone people, us. Overwhelmingly. I guess maybe about 80%, possibly. I might be off a little bit, about 80%. But if they would talk about reparations, they would have to talk about reparations for the state of Maryland, just as in California. Now the numbers shift. And guess what? European populations are not in favor. This is why in the article where they was taking H.R. 40 to Congress, they said, man, that's the wrong venue. You got to have the White House to put pressure. Why? Because the math. Do we know math anymore? Listen, I don't want to rain on your parade. Am I raining on people's parade? Look at Shark Maya. Reparation is old. Cut the check. Cash only land grants. No programs. No loan forgiveness. It doesn't matter what you want, Sharky Mayat. It's law. Nothing is just given without the passage through the process of law. That's it. So we're talking about numbers. We're talking about the political system, how the political system works to render or award people with something they think is theirs. The numbers don't match, Mayat. The political process don't match the outcome that you're looking for. It just don't match. I know you. Listen. This is why I say, and I do believe, that you have more meat on the bone in a slave state than you would have in a state that didn't even sanction or practice slavery when it entered the Union. You would have more meat on the bone. It says, while the percentage of black eligible voters have stayed fairly consistent over the past 20 years at 12 to 14% of total voters, the actual number of black Americans eligible to vote has steadily risen. There has been an increase of about 10 million people over the course of 20 years, but it's still only 12 to 14%. The numbers don't match the outcome that you're looking for. Family, are you with me? Listen, family, don't make me talk like, maybe y'all believe me if I start making up stuff and say like Elijah Muhammad said, I got an 8th grade education. Nah, I went all the way up. I got an 8th grade education to know this. You know, that's, yeah. I got an 8. If I said that, y'all believe me. And you know the aliens have been helping me since I came to YouTube. If I say that, you believe me, would you? See, since I came to YouTube, the aliens have been helping me. This is how I figured this stuff out. I figured it out because the aliens, you know, they help me. They've been helping me from the mothership. You know, I was in STEM. I learned this stuff from STEM. See, STEM is what we need in the schools. I learned this in STEM. Let me stop saying, man. Yeah, we come up with some stuff. I'm trying to tell you. Boy. Good night, man. Somebody said NOI probably have the best economic solution. Don't you believe it? NOI have been given many grants. I don't want to get into the NOI thing. I would debate you on that. Listen, NOI has been given many grants. NOI has been given many concessions. NOI has been, bro. Listen, man, newspapers and bean pies is not an economic solution, family. There is other things that you don't know what's happening behind the scenes to allow NOI to flourish in the way that they have. You know what I mean? And it's not bean pies and final calls, family. I know people will get mad at me. But nah, that's not it, brother. It's more to it than that. If you believe that bean pies and final calls put Elijah Muhammad on a big old ranch and tons and tons of acres of land, and if you believe that, you got another thing coming, family. That's not the case. And if I will bring out the research, I would have a lot of people upset just because the research does not support that they got a great economic plan. Nah, bro. See, a lot of times what happens is people don't do the research. It's just like people in the hood when we was growing up, when they had that 1988 Maxima with those rims and that chrome on it, we thought they was getting big money. But then when they got locked up in the crack era, the car got taken and they didn't even have bail money. You know what I'm saying? Just because things look like it's something, don't believe the smoke and mirrors. There's always something else going on behind it. And if you look behind it and it's not what you think, you might be brokenhearted. So tempt not the Lord to Huckabee. Tempt not the Lord to Hawker Bay. That's right. Now, with that being said, family, when you look at voters turnout, right, in the 2020 race, right? Look at the voters turnout in the 2020 race, right? And you see the Europeans is the dark blue, right? And it's 71%. And you look at the quote unquote black is 63%. But know for sure that the 63% is only 63% of that 13% of the population, and that 71% is 71% of the 70% of the European population. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? This is why the numbers don't make sense. If it's going to happen politically, if it's going to happen politically, if it's going to happen legally, look at the numbers. In 2020, voters turnout was 63%. Let's say it's 300 million voters. 63% of that. I mean, yeah. So I like what Cryptonomics say. Percent is easiest way to manipulate data. That's why they use them. But guess what, Crip? We got common sense here. That 63% only represents a 13% of the U.S. populations of Africans in America. That 71% of the Europeans represent a 70% percentile of the Europeans in America. So you're talking about out of 71%. Oh, Crips say 189 million. So there's only 63%. 189 million voters. They got to go by voters, though. Because we might got 189 million people here, but the 189 million is probably not registered voters. So when you look at the numbers, again, it doesn't make sense. We're fighting a losing fight if we go by numbers. Remember Jay-Z said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. This is why Newsom, family, listen. This is why Governor Newsom says, okay, I appoint the commission, but I'm definitely not supporting no cash out pays. Because he already knows that no matter what he's appointed, that if it came to the voters, you ain't going nowhere with it. You ain't going nowhere with it. You understand what I'm saying? Look, Crip doing the math of it. That means 63% of 300 million, 189 million. You see what I'm saying? I'm glad y'all real hype DC, man. Thank y'all so much for chiming in doing these numbers, man. This is the difference between other platforms, man. You know you ain't gonna find no other platforms like this, family. And listen, Sharky my eye. I don't believe that we're just 13%. But the point that I'm making is that as long as it's recorded that we're 13%, we might not be 13%, but nevertheless, the numbers are still so lopsided that it would take a push from the executive offices. You understand what I'm saying? It would take a push from executive offices. Press 7 if you understand what I mean. Hood politics, entertainment. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? This is why the article says that going at Congress is the wrong venue. That you would need someone to push it at the White House level, or on the state, you need someone to push it at the state level. You see what I'm saying? That's the logic. And so this is why we're looking at the numbers, because the numbers are going to represent, is it possible? Is it possible? And so what I'm pointing out is that this stuff seems to me to be another red herring. It does. It just does. Look at this. Population. And this is from 2023. The population, according to this, is 13.6%. That's 334,914,895,000. Let me see if I can. The top one is us. Let me blow it up for you. This is us. All right, this is us. This is us. 13%. This is our numbers. The top number. This is us. This is why people get mad at me, because I'm going to give you some numbers. All right? This is us. This is us. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say bring the most elaborate speakers about this reparations thing. See, I'm not saying I don't want reparations. I'm not saying we don't deserve reparations. I'm not saying we're not owed reparations. I'm saying that this fight was put before you and it's not your fight. You got to develop your own fight. You got to develop your own fight. You can't let somebody give you a fight for a problem that was created by them. And when I say them, I mean the system that made this lopsided. This system was designed to be lopsided. Listen, when they were letting Europeans into Ellis Island, right? Do anybody know why? Do anybody know why they was allowing Europeans to come in through Ellis Island? Bring us your sick. Bring us your hungry. Bring us your poor. Bring us your, do anybody know why? It's about numbers. It's about numbers. The Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, was all about numbers. And those numbers have been sustainable since slavery ended in 1865. And they had boosters. Like Ellis Island. See, racism is not always racism that somebody calls you an N-word. The political system is rigged in such a way that if you do not get active in it, it will be used against you. And you can only get active in it, you only can be active in it with numbers of like-minded people trying to move in one direction. Not a rally, not a rally, not a rally, not a task force. The numbers put your person into the seat with the pen. The numbers make your person Newsom. That's how you get reparations. That's one of the ways. You organize politically. You be the voice for those that are voiceless and for those that entrust you to see it all the way through. And one amongst you is selected, not elected, to bring the bag home. It could be a 20-year plan. It could be a 15-year plan, depending on what city you live in. But the ultimate goal is to put the pen in your hand, your leader hand, your representative hand. And we need to stop demonize leaders, because leaders are only, good leaders is only the voice of the people that the leader represents. The voice only expresses what the people desire. And when you organize on a real grassroots level, you get intimate conversations, and I'm not talking for freaky deaky. You get intimate conversations. You're having lunch together. You're hanging out together. You're walking the streets together. You're talking to people together. You're in the struggle together. You follow what I'm saying? They on the ground with you. And now you got thousands of people coming to the ballot to put that one with you in place and get a hold of the pen. Get a hold of the pen. You need to get a hold of the pen. It's called block voting. Family, until we begin to organize strategically, politically, the only thing that can move the meter is because the other numbers don't work. The other numbers don't work. The only way we can move politically is we have to have our hand on the pulse. Now look, 75%. See this? 13% of that. Europeans are 75%. Let me get this right real quick. Europeans 75%. Now this is the Pew numbers. Family, who got their hand on the pen? Who has their hand on the pen? Who has their hand on the pen? With 75%? We already know who has their hand on the pen. That's what we got to start paying attention to. We got to start paying attention to these numbers. This is just a Yahoo poll from 2023. I don't believe this. But look at the propaganda that's being put out. Look at the propaganda that's being put out. It says that should, quote unquote, black Americans, descendants of slaves, black Americans receive any kind of restitution, reparations from the government, not necessarily direct cash payments, as a result of inequities caused by racism and slavery. 24% says yes. Descendants of slaves says yes, 29%. A whopping 56% on the internet, 51% on Yahoo. Y'all see these numbers? These numbers mean something. If someone is voting in polls, then you already know that they're voting in the booth. You already know. So here we go again. Here we go again. So the question is, one second. So the question is, how plausible is it? How plausible is it? How reasonable is it that you are going to walk out of California with reparations considering the numbers? Does that really make sense? So what's the alternative? What's the alternative? I'm telling you, I think the alternative is to go into your quiet space, develop a political strategy, and everybody work together for the common good. You know what I mean? Because this one that they gave you, the numbers don't add up. The numbers don't add up. It just don't add up. Don't add up at all. And remember that these are only percentages. And like Crips say, they can fidget the percentages. They actually can fidget them. Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's what it is. It's 30, 3194, 895. Oh yeah, all right. So that's the all right. So listen, let me make sure y'all get this right. I don't want to mess anybody up. So the population of the United States is supposed to be 334,914,895 voters, right? We're only 13% of that. That's how it goes. Let me bring it back real quick. Let me bring this back real quick. We're only 13% of that. I thought I was looking at something crazy. Hold up. So here it is. So this is supposed to be the voter population. 334,914,895. And we, who is this? The quote unquote black or African American, we are only 13% of that. All right. Now, the Europeans are right here. They are 75%, 75.5 of that number, or non-whites. So now when we're looking at the numbers, once again, the numbers is not helping your argument in the venue in which this is being played out. And guess what? I'm going to be called the bad guy because I want to tell you the truth. I'm going to be called the bad guy I'm gonna be calling the bad guy because I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you stop. I'm saying think of another alternative. Stop chasing the carrot stick. Doug Walk say Black Warrior Spirit, part of the rules of engagement of war. I would say I'm just saying, family. Listen, hey, fam, does this not make sense? I got a few more slides. I gotta go. So 77%. This is another good number. This is another good number. Look at this. Look at this. 77% of us support reparations. You see this? 77% of us support reparations, while 18% of Europeans support it. How do you get reparations if you're taking the legal route, the political route? By the numbers. Are y'all still with me? Y'all still in class? I ain't got but a few more minutes. I ain't got a few. By the numbers. You can only get it by numbers. Or unless you get a push from the White House, or unless you get a push from a governor's office. You can only get it by numbers, and you don't have the numbers. You can study it all you want. You can study it all you want. All my life I had to study. You can study it all you want. You can have a task force. You can study it all you want. But when it goes to the voters, that's the game changer. So we need a better alternative. Let me talk about this Japanese thing. many people were saying, well, Japanese got reparations. And I'm not trying to steer this conversation to talk about the Japanese. But understand this logic. The checks made to Japanese Americans, one of the only ethnic groups ever to win reparations from the U.S. government. Now, decades later, this is an article, their victory is taking on new weight as quote-unquote black Americans fight for their own reparations. Family, you know what is something that we never really considered when we talk about Japanese reparations? For one, they was organized. For two, there was people still living that suffered. Am I yelling too much? So you had the person that suffered the atrocity saying that I need to be compensated. That's a big difference. To tracing yourself back, which I'm saying we should be rewarded, we should be awarded. But that's a big difference. When you have a victim right in front of your face saying, I suffered the atrocities of camps. They right in front of your face. That's a big difference. So the argument that they gave Japanese reparations, the circumstances are just a little bit different. They're just a little bit different. Are you with me? They're a little bit different. Listen. One of the problems that we too emotional to listen to common sense conversations, and therefore we're incapable. I'm talking about those FBA weird people. They're incapable of remedying anything in the proper manner because they're too emotional. They're way too emotional, way too emotional, way too emotional. And when you're hit with the facts, you start to expose those people who are actually using the ignorance of the people against them, getting them to pay for stupid stuff, pocket some, and then go on to the next promotion. I mean, so the difference between Japanese getting a check and you getting a check, Mr. Fred Korematsu actually was a direct sufferer of being a prisoner. He was direct. He could speak for himself. He ain't say, give me something that my ancestors. Listen, I say we owed. I say we deserve it. That's not what I'm saying. But so when you bring the Japanese argument, don't be careful with these arguments because this person can speak for himself and he suffered directly. After 1930s or possibly the 40s, the last living physical person held in chattel slavery was deceased. These are two different circumstances. Imagine going to court and you speaking for somebody from the grave and the other person is right there that actually experienced it. What is going to make more sense? Man, now maybe this, man, look, listen, at the end of the day, these slave states would probably be the best start to organize around reparations. Let me get out your way real quick. You hear what I say? These slave states will be the best to organize around reparations because they got the most meat on the bone. And what do I mean? That it was a legal practice. It was a legal practice. You have people still there. There was people still there that's connected to the people that were there. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the slave states. Why? I'm not knocking California, but what I'm saying is it appears that that is one of those red herrings, that is one of those carrot stick moves. Keep us over there when in fact, at the end of the day, the voters got the last say. And as I mentioned earlier, that Trump, you hear what I say? Trump does not support reparations in the way that people are talking, give me my money. Trump does not support that. So if people are supporting Trump, they don't support reparations. And that's just who it is that's playing you. So all of the rallies, all of the don't vote for Democrats, all of that stuff, listen, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. Because when Trump gets in, one thing that you will know is that Trump has already said that, he said this in 2020, that he said, he even made a statement that Europeans, quote unquote, white people should get reparations for being treated unfairly. He also made a statement that that he wants to make sure that he fight for equal rights for whites. Equal, that's what he called it. Equal rights for whites. And what he mean is that all of this all of these benefits that been fought in the civil rights movement for quote unquote Africans in America, that it's really infringing. It infringes on opportunities for quote unquote white people, and that, you know, if they want to go to a school, but they got to get them first because they African American. Nah, you supposed to get into the school on the merits of your knowledge and your aptitude. I mean, and he says that he's going to fight. You don't get the benefit because you got some skin different from the next person. So Trump said he's going to fight for white right. You know what I mean? Hey, I think he should. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he should. That's right. That's right. I think he should. You know what I mean? Anytime you see a group of people that don't fight for their own people, they don't have no respect. They're not respected. And these people that's fighting for other groups of people, I could see if, like, during the time of the Underground Railroad, where you had Europeans and us working together for a common good. I could see during the time of the Civil Rights Movement, where you had European Christian movements marching alongside, which they didn't like to show a lot of them, but they was there too, marching alongside the civil rights leader. You know what I'm saying? But this is a whole different situation. Them Europeans was taking hits. Them Europeans were putting their life on the line to let somebody sleep in underneath their house. I mean, this is a different situation right here. This guy here says he ain't giving you nothing. He ain't giving you nothing. See, the difference is fighting alongside people who has everything to lose, you or them, or do both of y'all. With the civil rights movement, everybody had something to lose, their life. With the Underground Railroad, where you know, they was getting assisted without the assistance of some of the Europeans, that our ancestors would be stuck in slavery because they had these stations, if you will, in the Underground Railroad, where people could hide from the dogs and hide from the slave catchers and all of that. So they was equally yoked. They could lose their life. But in this type of situation, man, what is these people doing? I mean, in this situation, these people already got money. They already got the what I want to say, the American dream, if you will. So of course they could say go for Trump because they mad at something that the Democrats did. And I know I may sound like I'm endorsing the Democrats. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm only giving you a logical perspective from what I understand. Hey, you could take it or leave it. You could take it or leave it. I'm only giving you a logical perspective. And the logical perspective that I'm giving is that Trump does not support reparations. And so for one to imply that they support Trump and they support reparations, that's a contradiction of terms. That's a contradiction of terms. How much you hate the Democrats, you still should be with them because they support reparations. Even if both sides are throwing you smoke and mirrors, the Democrats at least voice that they support some sort of reparations. Trump said he ain't with none of it. Both sides are smoke and mirrors to me. I mean, Doug Walk say back then it was poor whites with blacks. Well, whatever it was, they had something to lose. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's all smoke and mirrors to me. Family, I hope y'all enjoyed this broadcast. I think this was a pretty decent broadcast. Do y'all think this was okay? Press 7 if you think okay. They say, how many of them poor these days? I don't know, Doug Walk. Did y'all enjoy this broadcast, family? Very educational, I think. I think it's very educational to understand that we need to develop. And listen, I want to say it again. I got to keep saying it before they come for the attacks. I'm not saying that we are not owed reparations. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you got to vote with the Democrats. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that these FBAs running around here claiming to be Trumpsters and claiming to be reparationists, it just don't make sense. You can't be a Trumpster and a reparationist and saying that you want cash payments. It don't make sense. It's illogical. So it can only be smoke and mirrors. Family, at the end of the day, it's a saying in the Moorish Science Temple of America, man, that it's about the lion and the lamb laying down together and both getting up unharmed. The lion is the rich, the lamb is the poor, family. Right now, it's really about those who have like-minded people, man. When we start looking at things from the perspective of 1960s and 1940 race and all that. Nah, man, that's a red flag. You know, it's as you see those who support Trump, they got plenty of money. They good to go. They not worried about they're not worried about the issues of the regular everyday working people. They're not worried about the issues of the people that's on EBT and can't find their way off EBT. They're not worried about them people. They're not worried about the people saying that we need reparations because I haven't been able to find my niche in this world to make a living. I haven't found my niche in this world to take care of my family without government subsidies. I haven't found my niche, and so I want my reparations. These people don't support that. Trump don't support that. Trump has always supported, as we see in this, him with the money team. So with that being said, family, I appreciate y'all. I see y'all next go around. Oh, family, I want to share something with you. Coming soon on Moorish World TV, family. We're gonna do a pilot. We're gonna do a pilot, family. We're gonna do a pilot, man. I'm gonna try to branch out, and we're gonna do a show. It's gonna be in a tab here on Moorish World TV, and it is we're bringing it out, family. Unbiased perspective with Dr. Dar and Tahaka Bay. So we're gonna build this platform. Dr. Dar is Dennis Assar Winkler, and I think this is going to be an amazing podcast because off camera we talk a lot, and I be wishing that we could catch some of our conversations on camera. Like for real, I really be wishing we could catch some of these conversations, because he is an intellectual, you know what I mean, and a trained educator, you know, and a therapist of sorts, you know, and I'm just a great observer. I don't have any certified training in anything. You know, I just see the world through the lens of Moorish science, wisdom, and I speak to it. I study, I read, I compare, I do comparison analysis and things of that nature. And it's funny how me and Doc Asar, we actually see things in much of the same way, with slight variables. And so these variables is what makes the conversation interesting. So I will be uploading one of our conversations tomorrow. Family, I had a debate with an African guy, bro, and he was trying to get on me about me being a subscriber to Islam. Oh my goodness. That's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. I'm going to upload it tomorrow. He was going into, and possibly I'll have a debate with him. So yeah, like Doug Walk say, the ones off cameras are always the best. Yeah. And so we're going to do a couple pilots. We're going to see if y'all like it. Hopefully y'all like it. And then we're going to try to take it to the next level, because I'm going to tell you, I believe that me and Doc and other people with good insight on the internet. It's very few of them, but other people with good insight on the internet with no agenda. I think they are the bridge to the future. And what I mean, the bridge to the future of fresh ideas for old conversations. Because these conversations, like I just said, the argument about reparations, though, they ain't got no new talking points. They ain't got no new talking points. When I'm telling you, I feel as though my talking points are new. My talking points are not, let me say, my talking points are not new, but my talking points are not the talking points that you're used to. What I'm saying is, you got to get the pen in your hand. That's ultimately what I'm saying. You got to get the pen in your hand. Figure out how to get the pen in your hand, so you don't ask somebody to sign the check. You sign it yourself. Now, that's a long ways from one person talking to organizing thousands of people to put one person in place to get the check. And this person that got the pen in their hand is honorable and accountable to the people that actually put them there. We got to manufacture our leaders. We got to push them to the limit to represent and keep that integrity intact all the way to the end. From the inception of the organization all the way to signing of the check, have to be played out in the minds of those who really want this liberation. With that being said, family, I'm up out of here. I got to go. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try. I know I'll be saying that, but I'm going to try to be more consistent than I've ever been, due to the simple fact that I always find myself getting caught up late in the evening, and I don't like to have a talking show. I like to put things together that we can all relate to, and I can always show and prove. You know what I mean? So that's where it is.
Family, listen. Coming this June 8th. Hold on, follow me. Come on. Coming this June 8th, family, I'm going to be demonstrating unveiling Islam. I'll be unveiling Islam and how it relates to, of all things, Pan-Africanism. Now, what I'm telling you is, I'm going to be unveiling Islam, meaning that I'm going to demonstrate items of Islam and perceptions of Islam that have been covered up, and I'm going to unveil it. Come with me. We're right here at TNAT 5525. 5525 around for them, teaching holistically about Islam, the true essence of it, not what you see on the internet, not literally. The 8th of June, we going in. unveiling Islam. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna relate the essence of Islam to liberation, Pan-Africanism, as well as to show that the original Islamists, Prophet Muhammad and those who was with him, was African-centered. I'm gonna show and prove. On June the 8th, I hope I see you there. I'll be there. You gonna be there, Doc?
Yes, sir.
Peace and love. I see you there.